All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going on a journey. We're going to start with something as simple as a single business offer and scale it all the way up to a blueprint for a new world. We're going to connect the dots from a powerful idea to real global impact. So, let's get started.
First, let's just be crystal clear about the stakes. They could not be higher. As the urban specialist Nicholas Yu puts it, we are at a monumental crossroads. The challenges we're facing, they're on a scale we've never seen before. And, the clock is ticking. We have one shot to get this right.
So when you're staring down a challenge that big, where do you even begin? Do you start with some grand, top-down 500-page plan, or does real, lasting change actually start small? Does it begin with just one perfectly crafted idea? That's the question we're going to dig into. Okay, let's dive into level 1. We start at the very foundation, the first building block of any successful system, the offer. But we're not talking about just any offer. We're talking about an offer that is so good, people would feel absolutely foolish saying no to it.
This comes from Alex Hormozi's framework for a Grand Slam offer. And the key insight here is brilliant because it's so simple. Don't try to create demand. That's way too hard. Instead, you find a starving market, a group of people who are already desperate for a solution, and you simply channel the demand that's already there. And you do that by solving their entire problem, making your solution totally unique, and then adding a little urgency to get them to act now.
And here is that theory in practice. This isn't just an abstract idea. This is an offer ladder from the Poly agent-run business platform. It starts with a core service, right? But look at that column, expansion trigger. As the client hits certain success metrics, the value expands. It's a system designed to grow with the client, creating a win-win partnership.
So you've got a winning offer. It's working. But how do you scale it beyond just you? How does this become something bigger? Well, the next step is to evolve from selling a single product to building an entire platform.
So you shift from selling a thing to building a marketplace. I mean, the classic example is eBay, right? They don't own any of the stuff being sold, they just facilitate the connections. And here's the really big idea. Shifting to a platform isn't just a business move, it's a fundamental change in where value comes from. It moves from the product itself to the strength of the connections between all of its users.
This image just visualizes that shift so perfectly. Instead of a simple one-way transaction, you become the central hub, the sun in the solar system. You're connecting applications, organizations, other services. You're not just a part of the ecosystem anymore. You are the ecosystem.
And this is where the magic really starts to happen. This creates a powerful network effect. A platform basically turns other people into your sales force. Your customers start referring their friends. Affiliates start advertising for you. The goal is to create this incredible, virtuous cycle where every new person who joins can bring in even more people. It becomes a self-fueling fire.
Now, let's zoom out. What happens when this platform model isn't just for one company or one industry, but it starts to define the entire economy? This is the next level of the transformation.
This is exactly what's happening right now. Like Nathan Schneider says, the internet isn't just a tool in our economy anymore. It's becoming the fundamental infrastructure for it. Technology is building this whole new economic layer that operates beyond traditional companies and borders. So what's the engine running under the hood? This is new tech stack. You've got things like blockchain for secure, transparent records. Think of it as a foundation of trust. Then you have advanced AI to analyze everything, all wrapped in these crazy layers of security that put the user back in control. This is how you build a system of trust without needing a central authority.
And at the very core of this whole thing are decentralized identifiers, or DIDs. The easiest way to think about them is like a universal digital passport for this new economy. It's an identity that you own, that you control, and it allows you to have secure, trusted interactions across any platform without needing a big company or a government in the middle.
Okay, so we've gone from a simple offer to a platform to a new economic infrastructure. So what? Why does this matter? Well, now we can see the full picture. This isn't just about business efficiency. It's about taking this incredibly powerful model and aiming it squarely at our biggest real-world challenges.
Let's just take manufacturing. The old model? Giant, centralized factories, slow to change, churning out millions of identical items. The new model? Rapid manufacturing is completely different. It's decentralized, it's custom, it uses things like 3D printing to create complex parts on demand. Imagine factories that can produce anything from jet engine parts to custom tools right where they're needed.
This same logic applies to our natural resources. For too long, we've been stuck in this linear take, make, dispose system. It's a one-way street. A circular model is a closed loop. The waste from one process becomes the valuable food for another. Nothing gets thrown away. Everything is part of a platform of exchange and reuse.
And this is not just a theory. It's not some far-off future. You can see it right here. These are actual functional parts made with these new methods. Just look at the complexity of those designs. These are intricate, vital components created on demand. It proves the power of this new way of making things.
This entire approach, it reflects a much deeper principle called social ecology. And what that means is seeing our societies not as rigid machines, but as complex, living ecosystems. And just like a natural ecosystem, they need diversity, they need balance, and they need interconnection to truly thrive.
So, we've built the offer, the platform, and the economic system. We have the hardware, but there's one final, crucial layer that underpins everything: the human mind. The software. The way we think and communicate is the ultimate operating system for any change we want to make. Consider this simple statement: my father scares me. Okay, on the surface, it seems to mean something, right? But what does it actually tell us? It's what's called a surface structure. It's a vague, fuzzy generalization of a problem.
The real power to create change comes from asking one simple question: how specifically? How specifically does he scare you? What specifically does he do? What does he say? When you ask that, you're forced to move from that vague feeling to the deep structure, the tangible experience. And that is something you can actually work with.
And this is the key takeaway. Our mental maps are not the territory. We are constantly filtering reality, deleting details. So if we want to solve complex problems out there in the world, we have to stop using vague language that hides the details. We have to get specific. We have to build richer, more accurate models inside our own minds first.
And that leaves us with one last thought. We've gone from a single, specific offer all the way up to a global system. The entire structure, from top to bottom, is built on the language we use and the stories we tell. So if our systems are just a reflection of those stories, what happens if we change our language? What kind of world could we choose to build?